Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video answering some questions I've gotten through email in the last week about this calendar project. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who has bought a calendar so far. I'm super stoked about our progress. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks and seeing what happens with this. So, question number 1. Why is your goal so high and why didn't you set a more realistic goal? Basically, for this calendar to both be affordable and for us to make a profit off of it, the only way to do that is to order in bulk. And it doesn't really start being affordable and profitable until you have a minimum of 200 calendars printed. So that was my goal, to print 200 calendars, and the $5,000 limit is my budget for making that happen. Why is it so high? Why is it $5,000? And why didn't I set a more realistic goal? Well, that's the money we need to make this project happen. And I'll outline a little bit more about where exactly the money is going so you have a better idea. Okay, just to print the 200 calendars is $1,225. On top of that, I have to pay $500 to have it custom designed. That's for them to make the layout, to put all the pictures in, the custom dates, and all of that. I budgeted the very minimum for my own costs. I only put in $100 into the budget, and that's only for my materials. That's only what I spent on film for this project. I'm not counting any of my travel costs or anything like that. I did travel to Philadelphia to be able to do this calendar, but I didn't budget any of that in because it was also, a personal trip to be able to go to the Trans Health Conference. So I didn't put that. It's $100 to get the magnets done. So I also have $200 tax for all of that. And another thing that I chose to do in order to have secure payment for this project is to go through PayPal, which, if we reach the $5,000 goal, is another $400 that they take from it, which I figured is worth it because it gives people reassurance that their money is going to be secure. Now, shipping 200 plus calendars all over the world is not going to be cheap. I've budgeted a minimum of $1,000 to get that done, but it could be, $1,500. It all depends on how many people are international and just how good of a deal I can get. So when you round that off, basically that leaves anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 left towards our fundraising goals. Which leads me to the second question, which is, why did you choose to do fixed funding and not flexible funding? Which I think is probably answered by all of that. It's basically because that's the amount of money that we need to make this project happen, So I couldn't do flexible funding because if we only sold 100 calendars, it really wouldn't work with the budget that I set out. And that leads me to question number 3. Why didn't you set your goal as the minimum amount to cover printing and shipping? So basically, you can rephrase this as asking, why did I budget the fundraising into my fixed funding goal? And the reason for that is because this is a fundraiser, and that's my goal, to raise funds. To be honest, if we didn't raise any funds, I would consider the project to have failed. As cool as it might feel to have my work printed in all of these calendars and sent all over the world, it's not my goal to just print a bunch of pretty calendars and sell them to people. My goal here is to raise money for people, and if we don't do that, then I consider it a failed project. And maybe $1,000 to $1,500 seems like a lot to some of you in terms of fundraising, but you have to keep a couple things in mind. The first one is that not all of this is going to one person. We're splitting this up with everyone in the calendar who needs funding help, and I would like to be able to give each person who needs help at least $100. I mean, that seems fair. I don't want to do this entire project and finish it and tell them that I have no money to give them, The other thing you have to keep in mind is just how much time and effort all of us have put into this calendar. just talking about myself alone, how much work I put into this, I have put in at least 100 hours of my time. Maybe that seems like a lot to you, but there was a lot to be done, I had to contact people, I had to organize the whole thing, I had to scout locations, I had to do the photo shoots, I had to develop and scan all of the images by hand, I had to edit them all digitally, I had to go and compare printing companies, get quotes, negotiate with people, ask about designers. I had to organize the entire campaign, which includes the promo video, the Indiegogo site. I had to spend all this time promoting it through Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all this stuff. All that stuff really adds up. And if we're talking about paying me just minimum wage for all of that work, we're looking at $1,000 right there. And, I'd like to think that I'm worth more than minimum wage because I have put years and thousands of dollars into my photography education. But I'm just using minimum wage as an example just to put things into perspective for you because, for all of this work, $1,500 is not a lot of money. I don't feel like just because it's a fundraiser, I should sell myself short or sell anyone else short who's part of this calendar. That's not even counting all of the hours of work that every other single person put into this calendar. Not just posing, which, each photo shoot took at least an hour of everyone's time. But, everyone else involved also had travel time to get to the photo shoots, and they've spent their own time promoting the calendar as well. On top of all the time that I've put in already, if this project is funded, I'm going to have to put in a lot more hours to have this calendar printed and get everything shipped all over the world. That's going to take me at least another 50 to 100 hours on top of that, and I'm probably going to get help from people, and that's more time on top of that that's adding to it, and that time is worth something too, So really, I even feel that even with the max amount of fundraising, $1,500 is not even enough, I really do think that this is worth more than that, but at the same time, I had to set a really realistic goal, and I really wanted to make this project happen. So for me, $5,000 is a realistic goal, and it's the minimum goal. So this brings me to the fourth question: what if we don't meet our goal? Honestly, if we don't meet our goal, then at least I tried, and I've still had such a great time shooting this calendar and doing this campaign. It's been a blast. So, that would suck, but what are you gonna do? All you can do is try. There are a lot of reasons why these fundraising campaigns don't work out, and I really think that if this one doesn't work out, it's not going to be because it's not worth $5,000. Okay, I hope this answered some of your questions. Have a good day, guys. Bye.